Hey everyone, it's Allie from Team Empower and welcome to day 12 of your Coach Basics. Now, today we are talking about consistency. You guys, consistency is the backbone of success in your business. Okay, if you want to be successful, which of course you do, or else you wouldn't be here, you've got to be consistent. John Maxwell said, motivation gets you going and discipline keeps you growing. And that is so true because guys, there are going to be days in this business that you do not want to show up and work your business. And I know that because there are days still that I don't want to show up and work my business. I get that. But we've compared this coaching journey to your fitness journey in the past, and I want to do that again really quick. There's no way that you can work out for 2 days and eat healthy for 2 days and then take 4 days off and expect to see results, right? It's the same thing with your coaching journey. You can't be on for a week and off for a week and expect to see results. You have to be consistent. But I'm not talking about huge hours here. It's just like with our 21-day fix program, 30-minute workouts. We're not asking you to work out for 2 hours every day, right? 30-minute workouts, simple nutrition, but you've got to be consistent with those things or else you won't see results. And it's the same thing with your fitness journey. You've got to be consistent and show up every day to work your business. Now, I know that being consistent later on is easier than being consistent early on in your business. Again, I know that because I've been there. I've been doing this for a while, and I know now that I am having a direct effect on the lives of the women in my groups. I know that I'm helping them because I've seen it. And in the beginning, you're a bit unsure. You know, challenge groups help you because you went through one and saw amazing results, and that's why you're coaching. But you're not quite sure yet that you can help other people. And so coaching, you're unsure of what you're doing. Okay, you're lacking that conviction with what you're doing as a coach because you haven't quite seen the results yet. So it's a little bit harder to be consistent because you're unsure. But you guys, as you are consistent, you will see that you are helping people. And the more people you help, the more conviction you're going to have with what you're doing is good and right, and you are helping people. And once you see that you are helping people, women reach goals that they didn't think that they could, wow, that is empowering. And then you have that conviction burning in you. And when you're convicted, then all of a sudden you have more confidence in what you're doing. So consistency gives way to conviction, and conviction brews confidence. Okay, and when you're confident in what you're doing, when you know what you're doing is good and right and that you can do it too, when you're confident, it's so much easier to plow past the no's and the negativity that will come your way in this business, because they will. You will get more no's than yeses, okay? You will for sure. But that doesn't matter. When you're convicted and then confident, it's so much easier to let those no's roll off of you, okay? Where in the beginning, you're so stuck on the no's and you might take it a little bit more personally. But when you're convicted and have confidence in what you're doing, which comes from being consistent, then it's so much easier to let that negativity roll off of you. And you also learn how to do that, how to have a successful mindset through personal development. So you've got to be consistent with personal development so that you can do that. So I know if I were you, I'd be asking, okay, great, consistency. I understand the principle. How do I apply it? How do I apply being consistent to my business? Well, let me tell you. Okay, the first thing you want to do is set business hours, because you guys, in this business, you can work this business all day, every day from your phone, and you do not want to do that. Okay, you've got to set hours. Or on the other hand, okay, if you're gonna try to fit in the business when you can, it ain't happening. It's just like your workout. You know that when you checked into your challenge group, or when you tell someone, yeah, I've got a busy day, I'll try to fit in my workout when I can, you know you're not getting that workout in. Okay, you're giving yourself permission to not get it in. Okay, don't do that. You need to set hours, schedule it in. Just like you schedule your workout now, you've got to schedule your business hours if you want to be successful. Okay, one thing that helps me when I go into my business hours, like right now, okay, right now are my business hours, I'm working from a list. Okay, so if I don't have a list to work from, I'm like scrolling Facebook during my business hours trying to figure out who to friend request or what to comment on, and then you're wasting a bunch of time. And you think you're working because you're on Facebook, like doing work stuff, but you're not. You're not being productive with your time. So go into work with a list, and you can find a helpful list on your BAT that we already talked about. So something that's helpful for me is I sit down and set a timer. So if I have 30 minutes to work or an hour to work, I give myself chunks of time. So I'll use 10 minutes to add to my list. And really, adding to your list shouldn't take 10 minutes. It should take like 5 minutes, okay? Add to your list, and then you take 10 minutes to reconnect with people. And then you take 10 minutes, okay? So you set chunks of time for things to do, and then set your timer. So then that way, when you're done with your business hours, you can close your computer, you can turn off your phone, and you can say, you know what, I'm gonna work the rest tomorrow. So when you see a message come on later, when you're sitting on the couch, you don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta get back to her right now, because you know that you're gonna do it tomorrow during your business hours. Okay, I hope that makes sense, and that's so important. The next thing you can do is remember to unplug, because like I mentioned earlier, you can work this business all day, every day, and if you do that, you're gonna burn out and you're not gonna be consistent at all, okay? I know that because I did that. I mean, I know all these things because I failed at all of these things, okay, you guys? So you need to unplug, and setting business hours will help you unplug. There is something called the rule of 5, okay? And the whole idea is if you have a tree that you're trying to chop down, if you go out and with your axe and you swing 5 times every day, the tree will eventually fall, right? You go out every day in the morning, you swing your axe 5 times, go inside. Next day, come out, swing your axe 5 times, go inside. Next day, come out. Okay, eventually that tree's gonna fall. It can't not fall. It's going to fall as long as you're consistent in doing that every day. Now, a problem is, okay, is when if you first get this task to cut down this tree and you go out there and you hit that tree with your axe 50 times, okay, 500 times, 5,000 times, because dang it, you're going to get that tree down. And you know what happens? 2 days later, you're sore and you don't want anything to do with that tree. You don't want to look at that axe. You don't want anything to do with any of that. And that's what will happen in your business. You've got to unplug. If you overextend yourself and you work your business all the time, you're going to burn out, which leads to inconsistency, okay? So don't do that. You've got to unplug. If you go to the park with your kids, be at the park with your kids, okay? If you're on a date with your husband, be on a date with your husband, okay? You don't have to be on your phone. Be present and where you're choosing to be present. Be present when you're with your kids. Be present when you're with your spouse. And then when you're working, be present when you're working. Okay? So let's see what I have here. What else? Okay, the last thing I want to say is this. You will never learn to be an expert at something unless you're willing to fail at it first. That's for sure the truth. Like I'd mentioned earlier, I have failed my way forward in this business consistently. I've been consistent with failing, which has led to success, okay? So you are going to fail during the course of trying to be consistent, but you know what? The benefit of being consistent is that you can see where you can improve next time, okay? So consistency helps you improve your business activities. I hope that makes sense. So anyways, I'm so grateful that you tuned in today. Thank you so much. Go ahead and comment below with your thoughts on being consistent and maybe any hesitations that you have with this or any questions that you may have with this topic. So I totally believe in you and I think you rock. So check you later.